Red Bull is suddenly falling apart. Christian Horner could be gone by Friday, and if that wasn't bad enough for the squad, there could be more top personnel leaving due to setup clauses. Red Bull is in a difficult situation right now. Should it send away its team principal after recent findings, knowing that it could result in top employees leaving the squad? And what could this mean for their championship ambitions? And who is the top engineer that could leave Red Bull if Christian Horner is fired? Well, that's none other than aerodynamics genius Adrian Newey. We'll fill you in. This all starts with Christian Horner, the head of the Red Bull Formula One team, being accused of inappropriate behaviour, which is expected to be an aggressive form of management. This has been brought to light to the Red Bull head company by one of Horner's female colleagues. This has shocked the company and grid, to say the least, and has resulted in the investigation into his behaviour on and off the grid. The investigation will be concluded this week, and Horner is expected to appear in a hearing on Friday to answer on the charges brought up against him. Following the vague charges made against him by a female colleague, parent firm Red Bull in Austria has launched an official investigation into the situation. A statement issued by it on Monday said, after being made aware of certain recent allegations, the company launched an independent investigation. This process, which is already underway, is being carried out by an external specialist barrister. Red Bull Formula One team principal Christian Horner is scheduled to face a hearing on Friday regarding allegations that have been made against him. The company takes these matters extremely seriously, and the investigation will be completed as soon as practically possible. It would not be appropriate to comment further at this time. Horner will now meet with the independent legal representatives on Friday to examine the situation. Horner, who stayed as team principal and attended the F1 Commission meeting in London on Monday, has categorically denied any wrongdoing. Horner told Dutch daily De Telegraaf, "I completely deny these claims." Red Bull's Formula One team has made no remark on the situation. The scenario involving Horner occurs as the Red Bull team prepares for the 2024 Formula One season. It plans to unveil its new car, the RB20, at its Milton Keynes facility on February 15th, less than a week before the official pre-season test in Bahrain begins. And Red Bull is hoping to still have Horner there for it. Sky Sports F1 reported on Monday that Horner will continue in his post as Red Bull Racing Team Principal and CEO while the inquiry is ongoing. Horner is an F1 veteran and one of the most important personalities in the paddock, having been the longest-serving team boss in F1 and the leader of Red Bull Racing since it was formed following Red Bull's acquisition of Jaguar before of the 2005 season. The fact that these claims and the probe have surfaced on the eve of the season, with Red Bull's car introduction next week and pre-season testing starting in 2 weeks, might be a significant destabilizer for the team. But Red Bull's parent corporation taking the lead on this subject, rather than it being handled internally inside Red Bull Racing, demonstrates how seriously it is being treated. While that is no guarantee of the result, German and Austrian media sources with close links to Red Bull, particularly its racing advisor Helmut Marko, have presented this as the possible end of Horner's tenure. Team manager Jonathan Wheatley has even been mentioned as Horner's prospective replacement. There have been suggestions that this is the result of a power struggle between the UK part of the team, overseen by Horner in Milton Keynes, and the branch of the Red Bull business run by Oliver Mintzlaff following Dietrich Mateschitz's death in late 2022. One hypothesis is that this is a chance to gain more control over Red Bull Racing and the F1 operations other companies, particularly the new powertrains complex in Milton Keynes, where Horner currently serves as CEO. Such claims are unsubstantiated at this point, but it is telling. What it does show is a pattern of Red Bull paying more attention to the F1 team and treating it as a legitimate part of the company with increased accountability. Though it was not as serious as this and led in less formal punishment, Marko had his own conduct investigated last year after making disparaging remarks about Red Bull racing driver Sergio Perez, and was obliged to publicly apologise. The original statement, which remains Red Bull's only official remark on the situation, stated that the investigation will be completed as soon as practically possible. And we now know that Horner will have to appear for the conclusion of the investigation this Friday. There will be no desire to expedite the case, and given that the probe is thought to be about Horner's alleged conduct towards an employee, it is critical that the process be carried out thoroughly. The timing is tricky for Red Bull, which has one team, the newly rebranded second entry, launching this week, and Horner's Red Bull Racing squad unveiling the RB20 next Thursday. A Friday hearing might give a chance to address issue before next week's Red Bull racing event at its Milton Keynes headquarters. If not, there will be doubts over whether Horner will attend the launch, given he is supposed to be continuing his responsibilities, and the inquiry has yet to reach a conclusion, which would overshadow festivities. In the case of a split between Red Bull and Christian Horner, one alternative would be an internal replacement. This may be in the shape of Jonathan Wheatley. He understands the team's surroundings and possesses the character and mentality to handle a delicate and difficult scenario. A surprise departure of Christian Horner after 18 years might destabilize the team. Whatever happens, this drama leaves an unpleasant taste in the mouths of onlookers. In addition to the leaders' unity, questions concerning moral leadership will be raised. From this point on, Red Bull must share any inquiry findings in full openness. But the future isn't looking bright for Christian Horner. And after all, is there even a way of coming back after being accused of something like this? This will leave lasting impression on the squad if Horner were to stay. And insiders have already reported that the Red Bull F1 team principal has lost support from the team during the ongoing inquiry into an accusation of inappropriate behaviour. Horner, who led Red Bull to a record-breaking 2023 season in which the team won 21 of 22 races and Max Verstappen won his third consecutive world championship, has denied any wrongdoings. However, according to Motorsport magazine, Horner has lost support inside the company and might be temporarily replaced by Red Bull team manager Jonathan Wheatley if Horner steps down. Whether the Thai side, which is traditionally close to Horner and holds 51% of Red Bull, can save the Briton will probably depend on the results of the independent investigation, the report states. The internal power struggle that Horner had instigated against Dr. Helmut Marko is said to have nothing to do with the affair, head of Motorsport. Dr. Marko is said to have no ambitions to take over the post in Milton Keynes. If the external investigators come to the conclusion that the compliance allegations make continued employment impossible, Red Bull will have to look for a new team principal at short notice. With Mattia Binotto, Ottmar Safnauer and Gunther Steiner, several prominent candidates with a team principal past are currently available on the market. Of course, the internal solution, as said earlier, would also be possible. In this case, team manager Jonathan Wheatley would probably be the first candidate. Red Bull should now try to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. The official presentation of the new RB20 racing car is planned for next Thursday, the 15th of February. The launch event should not be overshadowed by the pending case against the team boss. A week later, the first test drives will begin in Bahrain. But if Horner is to leave the squad, there will be major consequences, some of which may not have seemed so easy to predict. As according to well-informed British F1 writer Joe Soward, Christian Horner and Adrian Newey have contracts with the team that protect each other. If one team member departs, the other may follow suit. This news has yet to be confirmed, but if Horner is forced to quit, the dynamics within Red Bull Racing may be shocking. And if Newey is also going to leave, it's easy to think what will happen to the squad. Just imagine losing the two top senior employees at once. That could only weaken the team. And this could have major consequences for their driver lineup as well. After all, who wants to join a team in 2025 that has just lost two of its most valuable assets? If this were to happen, there is only one winner, Ferrari. As Newey has previously stated that his only regret in Formula 1 is that he hasn't taken the opportunity to work at Ferrari, which was offered to him in 2014. And now, with Hamilton also joining the squad and a secure management under Vasseur, Newey would certainly be tempted to join the team. Could Christian Horner's inappropriate behaviour have started the downfall of the team he has been building since 2005? It sure seems like it, but we'll have to wait until Friday to be sure. What do you think? Will Horner leave? And if this happens, will Newey leave as well? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for daily Formula 1 news.